Welcome you all to the Big Apple, New York, New York. This great city is so nice they had to name it twice. This is the official kickoff press conference for Davis versus Garcia. I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing. Thank you. I know y'all been waiting.
You ain't lying.
But I'm here to tell you the time has come. Time has come for one of the biggest fights of 2023. This will be a clash of two young stars in their prime, stepping over the promotional, the broadcast barriers to give fight fans what they want, and that's a mega fight. It's really a bringing together of two of boxing's most explosive, unbeaten, popular fighters, along with their millions, and I'm talking millions, of social media followers. This young man to my left, to your right, Ryan Garcia. Blistering hand speed, one of the most deadly left hooks in the sport of boxing. He's unbeaten. He's 23-0. He's got 19 knockouts. You know, last time we saw him in July, and he took out Javier Fortuna. He'll be facing a young man who is, without question, box office. His record speaks for itself. He has sold out arenas. He's broken gate records in D.C., Brooklyn, Baltimore. He's one of boxing's most vicious punchers. His 93% knockout percentage, one of the best in boxing and among current world champions. He's a three-division multi-world champion. He's also unbeaten. He comes into this fight at 28-0. He's got 26 knockouts. This past January, we saw him stop Hector Garcia. Is Gervonta Davis. The winner, without question, becomes one of the sport's pound-for-pound best and takes his place as the new face of boxing. So what you need to know, it all goes down April 22nd. From the fight capital of the world, I'm talking about Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. And it's going to be produced by the destination for the best in boxing, and that's Showtime Pay-Per-View. This event is brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. It's being promoted by GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Golden Boy Promotions. Now, everyone wants to know, what about tickets? Tickets go on sale Friday, March 10th. They can be purchased through AXS.com. Again, AXS.com. The pre-sale for those tickets starts tomorrow. On Thursday, March 9th, make sure you use the code BOXING. Again, use the code BOXING for the pre-sale, which goes on sale again tomorrow. All right. Let me introduce one of the promoters of this fight. He's one of the best matchmakers in the sport. He is the president of TGB Promotions. He is Tom Brown.
Thank you, Brian. Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Well, it's happening. This highly anticipated super fight, which the fans have been begging for, is happening April 22nd at the T-Mobile in Las Vegas, Nevada. And make no mistake about this, this is a super fight, one of the biggest boxing has to offer. It's not often in today's game we see two young fighters, both in their prime, both undefeated, and both entertaining knockout punchers collide. So props to everyone involved in making this fight happen. This really is boxing at its best. No sanctioning body ordered this fight. It's not a mandatory. It's a case of the two best fighters in the division demanding that this fight happens. And any fight involving Gervonta Davis equates to big business and box office success. Tank Davis has proven his star power by breaking records everywhere he fights, making him one of the sport's biggest stars. His last fight at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., a new all-time gate record, breaking the venue's previous record of the Rolling Stones. Prior to that fight, his event at Barclays Center broke the record for the highest grossing boxing show in the arena's history. And the attendance number also set a new record for boxing at Barclays. He's one of the most explosive and dangerous fighters in the world. And unlike Luke Campbell, if Tank Davis puts you on your ass, you're not getting up. Thank you.
Coming to the podium, talking about Hall of Famer, one of boxing's greats, especially when you talk about fighters over the past 3 decades. This man was the former undisputed middleweight champion of the world. You can call him the Executioner, you can call him the Alien, you can just call him great. He's one of Golden Boy's promotions, their partners, Bernard Hopkins.
I also added to that name in boxing. Y'all heard those names. But I have one that y'all need y'all to put in your back pocket for the future, because this is a fight that starts a lot of big other fights, become contagious. Here's that other name that y'all gonna have to call me from now on until I die. The biggest instigator in boxing. Yeah, I'm gonna instigate a lot of stuff to make things at least get talked about and put pressure, no matter where you're from, where house you live in. That means promoters. Everybody that had everything to do with this fight, they need to be respected, and thank you to whoever those people. But we know the fans wanted it. You heard that from Tom Brown. This is one of those fights that we know that we don't see maybe once, twice in a year in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It feels like that to me. So, all the reporters, everybody that play a role in the sweet science of boxing, please treat it like that. Don't be late. Be on time if you didn't get it. And also understand that you gotta respect the game, just like we gotta respect your opinions about what you see, what you think you've seen, and what you wrote. But this fight has ingredients, and also because of the two fighters who will be future Hall of Famers, want to prove that come April. Enjoy it. Like I said, this is the top of the year of the biggest fight of this year, and the biggest fight even before it got to this point of 23. We all should treat it that way again. Enjoy the fight, and tell everybody that not fight fans to tune in on this one, and promise them, because I believe everybody in this room should feel that way, that this is going to be a fight that hooks them, that make them stay in the sweet science of being a fan. So if you can do that and we can do that, see how we can work together. You see how this fight got done? So now we need y'all to do what y'all do. All right? I'm gonna cut it with that. Enjoy the fight. And don't ask me who's gonna win, because y'all know what side I'm on. And you know what I believe. But now it ain't up to me what I think when it comes to the two fighters. Either you're gonna be wrong the day after or that night, or you're gonna be right. Let's enjoy the sweet science come April 14th. Thank you. Respect.
Well, introduced him earlier, but without further ado, here he is. Unbeaten, 28-0, 26 knockouts. From Baltimore, Gervonta Tank Davis. Come to the podium now. Again, Hall of Famer. Again, one of the greats. When we're talking about greats, 11 world titles, 6 different weight classes, one of the best ever to put on a pair of gloves. This guy is the chairman. He's the CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. He's the Golden Boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you very much, Ryan. And as I was thinking about my comments today, one word that really comes to mind is mega fight. The word gets thrown around a lot. By when somebody hears about a pay-per-view is happening and taking place, there's some boxing insiders who will call it a mega fight just because it's on pay-per-view. But how often do you get 2 guys who are undefeated, 2 fighters who have huge fan bases, 2 fighters who are early in their peak of their career, and 2 guys that are represented by different companies, different broadcasters? To me, that's what a mega fight is all about, is bringing everyone together, bringing, first of all, the fighters together, the best 2 fighters in their weight division, in that same ring, and getting everyone together to work together for a big mega fight. That's what it's all about. So it almost never happens. But Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis is one that the world is not gonna miss. Trust me, when we were promoting fights back in the day with Mayweather and myself and everybody, those big mega fights is what made boxing. When 2 personalities come into the ring together and create the perfect storm. And that's exactly what they're gonna do on April 22nd, is create the perfect storm. And yeah, a lot of guys obviously know I'm with my guy, and this is the reason why we're gonna bring back those glory days, those big pay-per-view glory days, because of this guy right here, Ryan Garcia. So April 22nd, these 2 guys here are gonna battle it out. They're gonna fight, and I can't do any talking whatsoever because I'm not gonna fight for them, and they gotta do the job themselves. But that's the beauty. They wanted this fight. Nobody else. Ryan Garcia wanted this fight years ago, and now it's here, April 22nd. So may the best man win. May the best man win. I have a lot of respect for Tank. He's an amazing fighter, a great fighter. He's a special fighter. And I have a lot of respect for Ryan Garcia. He's a great fighter and a special fighter as well. So April 27th, good luck, and may the best man win. Thank you.
Let me bring to the podium now a man who obviously helped put all of this together. He can also talk to you about not only that night, the fight card, but all of the programming that will come surrounding fight night in this big mega fight. He is one of boxing's best friend. We call him El Jefe around the office. He's the president of Showtime Sports, Mr. Steven Espinoza.
Thank you, Brian. We're thrilled to be with you today to announce the most highly anticipated fight of the year. Right now, Showtime's in the middle of one of our strongest and busiest runs in recent history. From now until April 22nd, we've got 9 boxing events over 11 weeks. But this fight, Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia, April 22nd, is one of the cornerstones of our very ambitious 2023 schedule. As Brian said, as Tom said, it's a battle of the 2 most popular young fighters in the sport, 2 fighters in their athletic primes, 2 of the most exciting fighters in any weight division. Put that together, and you have the biggest fight that is on the boxing schedule. Since 1986, when Showtime Boxing was born, our team has led with premium storytelling, quality production, an all-star cast of commentators with integrity and honesty. But it's on big fights like this one that we really shine. For Tank Davis, this marks his 14th appearance on Showtime, his 6th time headlining a pay-per-view, and as Tom said, he's one of the sport's hottest fighters. Selling out venues in LA, Atlanta, Baltimore, Brooklyn, and most recently DC. 5-time champion in 3 weight classes. He won his first title at 22 and has knocked out 18 of his last 19 opponents. And while Tank might be one of the biggest punchers pound for pound in the sport of boxing, Ryan certainly may be one of the fastest. 23-0, 19 KOs, knockouts in 6 of his last 7 fights. So you can't sleep on his power either. We welcome Ryan for his first appearance on Showtime pay-per-view. Now, these are 2 fighters with huge fan bases, very passionate fan bases, massive social media audiences. It would be easy to look at their popularity on social media and be cynical. And in fact, both these fighters get a lot of criticism, unfair criticism. But let's not get this confused. Tank isn't just a guy with big knockout power. He's a skilled boxer, quality amateur pedigree, a multiple-time amateur national champion with over 200 amateur wins. And Ryan's not just a guy with fast hands and a huge social media audience. He's got power of his own, a similar high-quality amateur pedigree, also a multiple-time national amateur champion with also 200 amateur wins under his belt. This fight is the right fight at the right time, with the potential to transcend the sport. This telecast is being produced by Showtime Pay-Per-View, distributed across Showtime Pay-Per-View, and will be available across multiple pay-per-view providers, including, of course, DAZN Pay-Per-View as well. And Tank vs. Ryan will be supported by the Emmy-winning All Access, 2 episodes. Episode 1 premieres April 1st, Episode 2 April 7th. In closing, John F. Kennedy famously said, "Success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan." When a fight this big gets made, there are no shortage of people rushing to take credit. But as someone who is involved, I can tell you who deserves the vast majority of the credit. It's these 2 fighters right here on this stage. It's Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia who deserve the credit for this fantastic event. Throughout the long negotiating process, they never wavered. There were plenty of doubters, naysayers, critics. They remained focused. They refused to take the easy way out, to take other opportunities, and delivered fight fans and boxing what the sport wanted and what fans wanted. So as we celebrate this event, we anticipate this event, let's remember that this event isn't about the network. It's not about the distributors. It's not about promoters. It's about these 2 star fighters who have taken it upon themselves to accept the biggest challenges of their careers. We'll see you April 22nd.
Next, come to the stage, President of Mayweather Promotions. He's Mr. Leonard Ellerby.
Thank you, Brian. Really excited to be here today. Lots of sunshine in beautiful New York City. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. By far the biggest fight in the entire sport. I recall a couple years ago, I was in Miami for the Logan Paul Floyd exhibition, and I was standing outside the hotel, and Ryan approached me. And he came up to me and said, "Look," he said, "I want to F your boy up." I say, "Look here, Slim, you don't want none of that work." You recall that conversation? And he went on to tell me, he said that that's the fight that he really, really wanted. That's the only fight that he wanted. And this was a few years ago. And throughout everything, I believed him. When it comes to Tank Davis, Tank has been very, very adamant about getting this guy in the ring. When you got two young, undefeated guys coming together, it's going to be nothing but fireworks. And as Stephen just mentioned, you got to give all the credit to the two fighters. Because when it comes down to it, the fighters got to want it. It's not about the promoters at all, because, you know,